started out too. This is Frankie and Johnny. Frankie and Johnny, sweetheart, buddy, in love. She shot him down, called him a little woman. That wasn't my situation, but that's the song. It's the Walking Blues, Robert Johnson. That's at the crossroads. My concept was to make a game of the blues, to make a board game with cards like Monopoly and all that. When my dealer came and saw the drawings, she said, "Wow, I'll take him." So she got him out of the studio before I got to do anything with him. This is all of our baggage. This is my baggage. This is her baggage. I got the years from 60 to 67, she had that much baggage and just increased. You know, by the time we separated, she was way up there with baggage. I was going to make this go to the top of the ceiling in the gallery, but again, the gallery said, well, keep it at like human scale, so we kept it right there. But this was an 8x8 painting. And I tried to suggest some African art objects inside this. So, you know, it's got a little face here, handle, big faces there. Try to make it a little African aesthetic there. But the thing that got people the most in that show was this room called Samsara. Because Samsara, as some of you may know, refers to the, I guess, with a continuous journey or cycle, repeated cycle of life and death. It's a Buddhist term. But because I'm like a wordsmith, to me it sounded like some sorrow. So I made a video, 3-screen projections of people crying. And here's the best part of the group, Teresa. What I did, I got 20 actors and auditioned them so you could cry on the spot, the easiest. And she was indeed the best one. I was amazed how people could cry on command. You can imagine, that was a pretty moving thing to walk into a room and see people crying. So that's why I just give you a little bit. I don't want you to get too. Somebody told me you see people crying, you can't help but cry yourself. So that was my last New York. Well, it wasn't my last New York show. It was my last show at my dealer. This was the year before at the Wadsworth Atheneum Museum in Hartford, Connecticut. And they have their, I would say it in a positive way, they have a part of the Wadsworth that's called the Amistad, which is a collection of African American memorabilia. And they asked me to respond to the memorabilia. The memorabilia consists of mammy jars, coon cartoons, all kinds of that now highly collectible post-antebellum, post-Civil War imagery. So I figured, you all laugh, so I know you get it, so I can say anything else. But the image wasn't quite this. It was actually a lenticular image. So if you hold it like this, you see Angelina Jolie, but if you slant it, then you see the mammy and the baby. But the great thing is, and it may actually be here, I remember, it's changed like that. And it's 5-foot diameter. But the woman, the black woman and the child, I got to meet the child. She's like a woman now, of course. That is not an image from the 1940s. That's an image from the late 50s. And the mammy's name is Maddie Lee. She passed away. And the baby's name is Shaman. And they live in Dothan, Alabama. So I went down to Dothan to interview her. And this is the excerpt of that. It was a 15-minute documentary about their family. So I'm going to stop talking for a while, but this is just the beginning of it.
Grew up in. He moved into this house when he was 4 years old, the same age our oldest daughter was when we moved in. 3 blocks down the road here, and actually learned my left from my right at the foot of this hill. You go to the left to the grocery store, the IGA, and you go to the right to the country club. And I always remember the prettiest Christmas trees in this bay window right here. Joe's mother did a beautiful job. They also owned the Houston Hotel at one time, and she ran the restaurant.
She has a website called Southern Life. That's how I found it. I found a photo of her and Nanny. And then, you can click on it and get the info, what source, and I tracked her down.
One of the greatest impacts in my life was Minnie. She was the maid that helped raise us. At that time, my daddy went to work about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and Minnie was there to fix breakfast for us. She saw him off to work, and my mother took care of us. She took us to the wherever we needed to go. She did the carpool and stuff like that. But Mammy was there as kind of the ever-present best friend and confidant. Mammy was a very important figure in my life. I was kind of a lonely little girl, and Mammy was my best friend.
Her story was really, really interesting. I interviewed her, her parents, and her son, because each of them had been, I guess, raised by a mammy. But her father was so old and leaky that he didn't want to be seen on screen. I mean, he was like, in a chair and drooling and everything. But, I got permission to use her. So the 15-minute interview or documentary just shows her talking about Mandy, with photographs like you saw here of her and Mandy growing up together. So that was 2009. This year I had a show in Birmingham, Alabama, with no budget. So I decided to do a show of acronyms because they're easy to do. And I did a room of window shades, but the shades were like 12 feet by 5 feet. And they had acronyms going across, sentences built from the acronyms of the word God. I had a soundtrack that was this actor, a friend of mine, who makes his living impersonating Martin Luther King, reading the acronyms. So I asked him not to do King on my piece, but you can hear his voice here, reading some of the acronyms.
Galilean open doors. Good old days. Genetics of divinity. Glory outshines damnation. Gullible occultists disappear. Gracious or dangerous, grief overtakes delirium. Get out of danger. Genuine original devil, grilled or dry.
That's my favorite. The final day, how you want to go? Grilled or dry?
Generic offering great obsolescent deity. Glock on duty.
God's on duty.
Gruesome obituary belief. Get over doubt. Gregarious, opportunistic gin. Glimpsing our divinity. Gleaming oversized decoy. Gratification on demand. Generosity, open door. Gangs of deities, guilt overpowers dog. Grisly, omnipresent demon, Goliath old date. Give oneself there. Granddad was